Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey chapter 366. It is the second day of the week, aka the special beam cannon workout. I'm feeling very good right now, very happy, very excited for this workout. Just realized I need a change. But anyway, to the main subject matter for today. Man, I sure do trust these companies and also platforms to have my best interest in mind. No, not really. The reason why I wanted to discuss this was because today YouTube revealed that under the pressures of the last administration was the main reason why they ended up censoring a lot of political commentary on YouTube and taking people's channels down. And now they've also gotten rid of the thing for like the news thing when talking about COVID-19 and all that other stuff. I'm hopefully testing it out with this video by saying COVID-19 because I would like to make a video about that entire subject matter, because obviously it was a huge monumental thing that happened in a majority of the people who are probably watching this lifetime, and it's a pretty fucking huge deal for a lot of people and a lot of stuff like that. And you couldn't really openly talk about it for the past like 2+ years now, because every time you would, your video would either get fucked over or you'd get that little information thing at the bottom, which is basically saying, hey, good luck letting this video go out because nobody's going to really see it. So it's been kind of a shit thing to happen. But regardless, it is just a general title because obviously there are so many things that I could just you can go down this rabbit hole for such a long time, but I just want to scratch the surface of it, particularly when it comes to these social media platforms and other corporations as well, because obviously, you know, they always have your best, they don't have your best interest in mind. All they want is your money, and that's about it. And anything else is superfluous. If you happen to use them to get better, that's on you, not on them. So there is that. But there's very few actual places that want to actually help you. And even those places, very hard to get started because those who want to keep them down will keep them down. To give you an example, I saw a tweet today that was about a guy that wanted to make a company that was just, it was called Just, and it was just the idea of making products that are only, they're basically dumb products. So the washing machine that isn't very smart, doesn't have a screen, it's just buttons, or a dryer, same thing, refrigerator, same thing, toaster, same idea, where nothing is extra, it's just the appliance itself and with no other extra features. And I think that we've come to the point now where even stupefying things would probably work way better on a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of people would love that. But unfortunately, there's so much red tape that's behind certain things like that that we wouldn't even be allowed to do something like that. For example, and just as this is, I'm only going to touch upon this right here, not bring it up again most likely. Another example of red tape stuff, I'll probably make a whole episode about it, is the car manufacturers have basically stifled the concept of manufacturing different style cars. Most cars look exactly the same for the most part because they all have to follow these rigid safety standards, which understandable. I understand it. Obviously, safety standards are good, but also because of the fact that they have to follow these rigid safety standards, there's no real experimentation that can really happen with the looks of cars. I mean, a majority of cars just kind of all look the same, and I wouldn't say drive the same, but they all kind of just have a similar style. It's very hard or niche to find ones that aren't the similar type of SUV or a 4-door, you know what I mean? So it's very tough, and you can see this a lot. When I used to drive my little 95 Honda, it was beautiful because you could see all around outside and everything. Didn't have the airbags that it probably should have needed, but I could see more, so I could actually be more cognizant of what's going on. But it's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. With that being said, though, I will see you at Mother Base.
All right, so started this day off with squats, which are pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Man, companies have the best interest in mind for me, of course. They are out on the look for me. So the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because mostly the laughable state of all of the social media platforms, all companies all around, and everything else in between that are looking for us, you know, like the common man. I think that It's such a pure, bold-faced lie, as well as the government and everybody else that is higher up in power. Realistically, they're doing just enough to let us get by without questioning too much before they start pulling off the mask. Or, decades later, all of a sudden, things that you thought were good for you or okay for you turn out to be evil and toxic and need to be banned immediately. So it's stuff like that that's kind of frustrating, particularly because in the day and age that we live in currently, where we have boatloads of information coming from everywhere at all times, we'd have no real big interest that is on the lookout for people just generally. There are small corporations and nonprofits that may actually do stuff, but a lot of the times they're not really. And specifically corporations, to think that they actually care about anything that isn't the bottom dollar is naive and laughable. I think of those people who think like this and just kind of think that, wow, I am going to laugh in your face if I ever find you, because these are the type of ignorant people that they prey on, really, that all corporations and all these types really just look forward to decimating into whatever they want to because they can. They don't necessarily need anything. Maybe sometimes a company will do something, throw a small bone out there, give a free video game, fucking give you a free thing, a free little treat on your birthday. Look at that. You get a free little Sunday on your birthday. And it's all fun and games up until you realize that, oh, the price of food has gone up. Oh, this thing sucks. Oh, now all of the drinks have microplastics in them. Oh, great. They don't sell regular sugar anymore. They have to have 5 fructose corn syrup now. Just every small thing that is thrown as a bone towards us is really just a pittance in order to just get us to shoo away before we actually start questioning things. And social media has become just a cesspit of this, the ultimate ideal, or the worst ideal of them all, where realistically all they are doing is waiting for us to see what they can try to sell us over and over and over again. It's interesting to me that people don't realize that, yes, everything is targeted regardless of whether you think of it or not. And even when you do think of it, that's why they can get you, because they can think and see behind the walls there when it comes to these things. They're listening in at all times. I'm not going to go too deep into the deep end, but I'm pretty sure they're listening to brainwaves, and I think I've made an episode about that. This is the type of stuff that's just really the end game of all these social media companies, really, is just to kind of get you to buy and trust them, and no matter what. It's funny, I actually see an advertisement on a bus stop when driving to work regularly. That's an Instagram advertisement, and it's funny to me. It's so hilarious because it's just it's like a couple of kids, and it's like parental guide for users 13 and under, or for users under 18. You can use parents, you can do blah, blah, blah. And it's very like, oh, okay. First of all, if you're under 18 using Instagram, I know that you have to be 13 or whatever, but dude, why are you letting your kid on there? Specifically because in today's social media, all of the creeps and weird fucks that are out there. Why would you even dare let them do it now? Sure, maybe 20 years ago, it was a novelty. Hell, when I was younger on the internet, it was a novelty. But I realize now that it's not a fun place to let your kid roam around without any guidance. And sure, they might be trying to salvage oh yeah, your parents, you can do this, you can do that. Realistically, they shouldn't even be on it because of how much of a risk that they have, particularly now, because everybody has some type of exploit somewhere. These fucking people that want to get it will get it. Not only that, but also these corporations will rewrite the terms of service over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where you don't even know when and where the last time it was updated, and they just tell you you've already automatically accepted it. I remember when they do it every single time you'd update software or whatever. They don't even bother doing that now. All they do is send you an email saying the terms of service have been updated, and God knows what the hell they've been updated with. Nowadays, I feel like it's mostly just your likeness has been sold to AI, or your things have been sold to AI, or something like that, because they don't even do it in our favor. Hell, one of the things that I found out not that long ago was the fact that refrigerators and big box appliance items usually have the terms and conditions and services of it on the box itself, but they never get delivered with the box because by getting rid of the box, you agree to the terms and conditions that they've already placed, which is an insane thing. Things like that is just so depressing when thinking about it, because we can no longer, it's like there is no trust. There maybe once was trust, maybe back in like the 1930s when Henry Ford wanted to actually give his workers a fair wage and everything else, actually wanted to give them time off. But of course, it was people like the Dodge brothers that didn't let him do that and made it so it would be illegal to help them out, so thus creating a little bit of an instability. And it's not like the once was before where you can trust certain small people. Now everything is a corporate conglomerate that is just one person above another person above another person, where at the end of the day I'd rather shop mom and pop or person to person, because at least then if you get screwed over, it's one person rather than the entire corporate machine.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Get everything in. Thankfully, going to make this quick. Back to the main subject matter for today. I totally trust all companies, and the government and everything else has my best interest in mind. Said no one ever. The main reason why I wanted to discuss this is just because I feel like now, as we progress in a weird time where people can be kind of slightly more honest with the world in a sense, because obviously corporations are now getting weirdly, I don't even know what's happening. The world is going in a really weird area, but I think that the entire idea that people just listen to things like companies and social media platforms and all these other things with absolutely zero, questioning or anything that might say, what an odd thing to say, is kind of interesting to me, because it's like, why wouldn't you at least question some of this stuff? I mean, really, it's very interesting that there are people out there that just don't even accept, and that accept everything at face value and do not question it whatsoever. That's astonishing to me. I am quite baffled by it personally, and hopeful that maybe one day they can break out of that and maybe just say, well, why? Because a lot of people don't break out of that, and then thus they end up becoming, that's kind of a different story for a different day. I don't want to discuss that here, but I just think it's an interesting thing to look at, especially when companies want to say, oh, they blame something else for the reasoning for something, this reason or that. I find it very much a smart idea to never trust what anybody ever really says about basically most things, unless it's really researched or some shit like that. Even the new thing that just came out about, Tylenol causing autism, is a very funny thing, because you see a bunch of women taking Tylenol that are pregnant, which they really are just a whole other type of beast, but we'll talk about that some other time. It's just interesting because now it's like, okay, what does this mean now? Why do we trust anybody here, the scientists or the manufacturers of the drug, really? It's like, what is going on here? Why is the truth such a hard thing to discuss? I think that that's the issue, and I think fundamentally we can never really know the truth, especially, and not only the truth, but also to make sure that these places or people have actually our interest in their minds, because realistically none of them really care. None of them actually care about the person. They care about the dollar that the person represents rather than the person themselves. And I think that you can see that in a lot of different places and a lot of different things. And I'm not going to say like I'm anti-capitalist or whatever the fuck people would want to say, because I'm not that at all. It's more of a idea of particular groups that do not care about us at all and will just use us as cattle. So we gotta not think about that, or at least try to get away from the people who would actually want to do that, because obviously they are not good, because they see us as nothing. So, but with that being said though, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one was not necessarily random, but still something different. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Stay cool out there. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.